Hey, Eastern Oregon, welcome to this October 11th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. Hey, we're on Roku. How are you?
Nailed it. Nailed it. Good thing you did that air check before we.
Yeah, that's right.
Check. I only ever wore dirty socks one time when I was pitching.
Really?
I tried it out just to see. Like, wore them.
Like, did it work?
And then wore them again the next time.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work.
It didn't work?
No.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like one of those types of dudes. I have a lot of friends that were, though.
Yeah.
Where, man, I got to put the bubble gum right here in my mouth a certain way.
So what was your superstition?
None.
Did you have any?
No.
That's like.
No, I pitched. So in college, I was a pitcher only. So I pitched every like 5 days.
Right.
My superstition was hang out in the dugout, learn how to juggle, chew some seeds, take a dip, talk a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. You being a pitcher and only pitching once every 5 days would be a good gig for you.
It was awesome. It was the best. It was perfect. But I mean, you still have to do the same stuff that everybody else does. I mean, it's not like you're just
right
off 4 days, but
right.
You don't have to think about it a lot.
Right.
You just get yourself mentally prepared for your start. And then you get to wind down, get yourself mentally prepared, wind down. It's not like every day you have to go there and hit the ball.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah. Anyways.
So you didn't bat or anything then?
No, I got one at bat in college.
Really?
Yeah, and that son of a bitch coach made me sacrifice bunt my only at bat.
Really?
He made me bunt. I was so mad. It was fall ball. I'm like, I'm gonna swing.
Yes.
I hit good in high school. I was a good hitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I finally get to hit in college. I looked at him and he shook his, and I was just like, laid down the sacrifice bunt, got thrown out at first. Only time I ever stepped in the batter's box.
Wow. So, like when you do a sacrifice bunt, you probably don't even want to run to first. It's like,
you do. You don't want to, but you do, and it doesn't even count as an at bat. It counts as a plate appearance, but my batting average in college is 0. Even though I got out, it doesn't count as an at bat because I moved runners over on a sacrifice.
That's funny.
So lame. I was mad at that coach for a while. He wasn't even the head. Everybody thought it was funny. Everybody's laughing because they knew.
Because they knew you'd feel how you'd feel.
Pitchers only don't like, and it was fall ball, so they're like, oh yeah, grab the bat, you get a hit here.
Yeah.
And then you get the sign. I'm like, done. But we didn't hit in practice very rarely. Like on fun days, they would let us hit like home run derby, and stuff like that. But outside of that, we only practiced with the team 1 day a week.
Wow.
Yeah, on Fridays, sometimes Thursdays, we would get together and do, base coverage drills and cutoff situational stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, all pitchers do is run, really.
Now, where did you play fall?
In California. Yeah. Riverside Community College.
All righty.
Victor Valley College first, and then I moved.
All right, you want to do sports?
Let's rock and roll. Well, let's start with LeGrand High School.
Yeah.
They won 28-7 on Friday. Football, Saturday. I take that back. It's a weird week. They went for a 5 o'clock game in Madras on Saturday. They won 28-7. EOU football lost. They're 0-7. I think the final score of that game was 28-6. Coach Camp on the show today. We'll talk about we're 0-7. We have a bye week, and then we have homecoming, which is against Northern, which, I mean, I hate to say it, it might be our only win of the year if we can win that game.
Right.
EOU volleyball beat Bushnell on Friday night, 3-1. Saturday night, they went down 2-0, came back, lost the 5th set. It was their first loss in 18 matches.
Wow.
To number 5 Corbin. They'll stay in the top 5, though. They'll drop out of the number 1 spot, but my prediction come tomorrow when the polls come out, I'm going to say EOU 3, Corbin 4. Corbin will move up a spot. They won't go past us, even though they beat us, because we swept them at home earlier in the season. But I think we'll see EOU and Corbin. Corbin will definitely be top 5. EOU 3, Corbin 4. Women's soccer won 2 games this weekend. Men's soccer won 1, lost 1. This soccer game, I went to it after the volleyball game on Saturday. Man, it was a rough. It was like, it's the kind of soccer I like. It was rough.
What do you mean?
Just like physical.
Oh,
yeah. And I mean, one of the Corbin players did like this slide tackle and he got clipped in the head and he was just leaking all over the field. I mean, just blood pouring. They go wrap his head up. He comes out looking like an escaped
mummy.
He comes out back out. He got his head all wrapped up. And then we saw, I think, 2 red cards in that game. It was pretty exciting. EOU lost that game 1-0.
Wow.
Volleyball tonight, EOU on the road, Caldwell against College of Idaho, 6 o'clock. Homecoming for LeGrand this week. We got a game, volleyball on Thursday, 4 o'clock and 6:30, JV and varsity. And then, of course, we have the double dip. We have LeGrand's homecoming against Crook County at 7 here. And then you'll be in Baker doing Baker's homecoming.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
I think they're playing Madras.
Oh, that's not a tough homecoming. I don't think Crook County will be tough for us either. So let me tell the story about Friday, right? I get this message on Facebook. You should come out to the Embler and Cove game. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever, like Embler and Cove. Well, then Benny calls me. It's like 9:30 in the morning,
right?
Benny, or whatever, 10. Benny calls me. He goes, Doddsy, we just got this lady. She's called twice, saying that you need to come out and take pictures at Embler and Cove. And I'm like, Benny, I'm not going out there. I'm busy. I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. I have to work my other job tonight. I was like, it's not going to happen. Plus, none of the coaches have ever reached out to me. I never got a schedule from any of them. Well, then, like an hour later, my phone rings. I look, it's my mom. My mom says, you're going out to Embler and Cove. So this lady was persistent, to say the least. So I went out to Embler and Cove. Embler beat Cove. It was a good game. It was the first 8-man football game of the year that I've been to. I think the final score was 40-36, so a 6-point game. Those 8-man games are always high scoring. I got some pictures. The coolest picture of them all is, though, he's probably even watching right now. Todd Gorham was reffing the game, and I got a nice little picture of him while he was reffing. That's a pretty good picture too.
That actually is.
And then I got some pictures at the EOU volleyball game. I'll show them to you real fast. There's Coach Kaki and Lexi McMurtry. Let's see. This one is Sade. She's a beast. She can jump out of the gym. I mean, you can see right there. She's undersized for her position. She's an outside hitter, but she makes up for it in her ability to jump.
Wow.
And then this is a cool picture. I love this picture. You see Dino and Amanda May back there and their daughter, and then this little girl, I don't know who she is, but she's got the block party sign. And then finally just a celebration picture. Yeah. So
do you think they're going to will they see Corbin again, like in the playoffs or something?
Most likely not. I mean, they'll see him in the CCC tournament.
Yeah.
So right now, if we went out and they went out, we host.
Okay.
Because it's head to head, and I texted Kaki on Sunday about this because I wanted to know. Head to head first, so head to head we're 1-1, but then you go to sets, and we've beat them 5 sets. They've only beat us 3, or 3. We swept them over there, so we won 3, they won none, and then they won 3 and we won 2, so we're up 5-3. So we host the CCC tournament as of right now.
Wow. So,
which is a big advantage, except for the last time we hosted it, Corbin beat us in the championship.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow. So, sweet win for Corbin, though. They got beat at home.
Corbin ain't no joke.
Yeah.
They have a girl on their team that's going to be player of the year in the conference.
Wow.
Yeah, Riley Troutman. She's tough. She had like 25 kills in 5 sets, which is
wow.
Yeah. They're good. They're legit. Yeah, that's it for sports. I mean, we'll talk more on Thursday about what's happening on the weekend for EOU and
yeah. So we're streaming 2 high school games simultaneously.
Yeah,
which is a little bit of a stretch for us. Yeah. But and so LeGrand, who's LeGrand playing? I've forgotten.
They're playing Crook County. It's homecoming.
Okay.
Dana says good morning. Yeah, and then Baker's playing Madras. But you guys watch the LeGrand game.
That's right.
You're LeGrand people watch this show, right?
Yeah. Well, most of them.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, hey, this morning we have Isaac, Insko, and Calvin Bennet. They are students EOU students and a part of EOU Debates, which is kind of a semi-club that is putting together debates. And tonight, the EOU students, EOU Debates, these two students and EOA are putting on a town hall tonight at Zabel Hall, and it'll be streamed right here. It's from the Grande City Council. Boy, I'm just fumbling this up. Anyhow, they'll be here in just a minute, and we'll talk about this.
Want to keep yourself informed with relevant news and events in Eastern Oregon, but don't have much time on your hands? Well, here on EOAlive, we pay attention to what's happening in Eastern Oregon and deliver the news in 2 minutes or less on our evening news roundup. You can expect to get your news delivered right to your Facebook and Instagram feed every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. We'll keep you in tune with Eastern Oregon, and you can count on that. EOAlive, your connection to Eastern Oregon. Now on
Eastern Oregon's weather can oftentimes seem unpredictable. 1 minute it'll be raining, then it'll be sunny and wonderful, then snowing and then sunny, then the next it'll be raining cats and dogs, literally. So how do you prepare yourself for such flip-floppy weather? Well, by tuning into EOAlive Weather with me, Gabe Curtis, of course, the most accurate weather forecast in all of Eastern Oregon. I'll keep you informed with daily weather updates that can take an in-depth look through the next 7 days. Because if cats and dogs are literally going to fall from the sky, you will want to know. EOA weather right here on EOAlive, your connection to Eastern Oregon. Now on Roku.
Oops.
EOAlive is your connection to Eastern Oregon. Get the latest and most relevant news in 2 minutes or less on our evening news broadcast. We cover Eastern Oregon's weather daily with Gabe, the EOAlive Weather Kid, with an extended forecast every Friday. Watch Doddsy on EOAlive Sports to get the latest sports information and interviews with local coaches, athletes, and more. See Brent and Doddsy goof and gaff with local guests on EOAlive's morning talk show, AM Live on EOA. We're available across the board, including Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Fire, and of course, our very own website, EOAlive.tv. We even have our own Roku channel with 24/7 live stream EOA content. You can also listen to our shows on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and many other popular podcast apps. You can get everything all in one place with the EOAlive app, available on Android, iOS, and the Amazon App Store. EOAlive, your connection to Eastern Oregon.
All right, we're back. I'm glad that you're here with us. And today we've joined with Isaac Insko and Calvin Bennet. Glad you guys are here with us. And so we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the last couple of weeks. We've kind of dove into this. So tonight, the detail, make sure I get this right. So tonight at 6 p.m. And everybody's invited. People can come and be a part of that and be in person, but we're also streaming that, and people can submit questions via Facebook and we have they can send in emails at questions@eoalive.tv, and we've already been getting some of those questions. And so anyhow, so this is, I guess, what would possess students to want to do this? I guess let's kind of start there. How did you guys get involved in doing this? Yeah, because this is not your first debate town hall. I mean, so how did you guys do this? I don't know. Talk to me about it.
Well, if I can go first, what really possessed us is just a need in the community for something like this. When we first started with a county commissioner debate in our last spring, we saw the race. We knew it was going to be finalized at the primary, and I was like, I don't know who was running. I don't know who Paul Anders is or Lisa Hill. And I decided, along with Isaac and a couple of our friends, we're like, you know what, we should provide this service to the community and make sure that people know who these people are. And so we know who's going to represent us at the county level. And so it's the same story with this one. I didn't know who either the mayoral candidates or any of the city councilors were. And I was like, you know what, I'm a member of this city. I'm a member of this community. And I would really like to know who these people are who are going to represent us.
Cool. Yeah. And how'd you get involved?
So, yeah, kind of like Calvin said, I kind of approached him, about hosting this event. And, we both have been really interested in politics, you know, just in our university. We're both senators on the student government and stuff like that. And, you know, we both said, you know what, this would be a great, you know, not only challenge for us to grow and build, but for us to kind of dip our feet in that kind of political pool and kind of learn this side of it, you know, the whole preparation, what goes into it. You know, maybe one day we can step into the podium, you know, and have that experience.
Well, cool. And now, Isaac, you and I have known each other a long time.
Yes.
I know your parents, Melody and Matt Insko, and everyone knows President Insko. But the Insko family have been farmers, and your dad,
Yes,
you guys have a big farming operation out in the valley. And so, but Calvin, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Fairbanks, Alaska, so not from here really, but I moved down to Central Oregon in the small town of Mitchell, right by the beautiful Painted Hills. And I grew up there, finished high school there, and graduated in a class of 2. So Frontier Oregon, as a lot of people like to say. Very rural, but it was a really awesome place. I still love it. I still consider it my hometown. But yeah, I decided to come to EOU because it was another small town, kind of like small university, small class sizes. So it was kind of like what I was used to, and saw that and really, really just liked our community here. And so decided to come here to be a student.
So Isaac, what made you decide to stay home and come to EOU?
well, my uncle was a big influence on that. I got a few text messages saying, you're coming to Eastern, right? So that kind of was a big influence. And I mean, growing up in Union County, you know, I guess I've always just kind of really wanted to go to Eastern Oregon University. I mean, I grew up watching their football games, their basketball games, and, you know, I just kind of wanted to, you know, stay home too and continue working for my family as well. And yeah, and that new ag program they got going really also kind of pushed me towards going to Eastern as well.
Oh, cool. So what are you guys studying? Talk to me about your studies.
Yeah, so I am a double major in marketing and business administration with a minor in political science here, and that's influenced by my interest in politics. But yeah, really good programs here. I have to thank all our professors here that we also have. I mean, a couple of them come to mind right now that I'm taking. Sherry Carpenter, Professor Chakrabarti. We have some really great people here, and they are really the reason why I'm staying here and why this university is so great.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm majoring in ag entrepreneurship, that new ag program. And Chad Mueller, I believe he runs that, and he's an amazing guy. I mean, I'm working with him. He's just fantastic. And I'm also minoring in economics as well. And yeah, no, I love all of our professors. Like, I have yet to run into one I'm like, oh, I despise you, because I don't know what it is. They must do a pretty good hiring job, because a lot of those professors are awesome.
So ag entrepreneurship, it's just sounds like a really fancy word for farming, right?
Basically, yeah.
but I mean, but it's really true, because every farmer, you are an entrepreneur. I mean, you are trying to figure out how to make ends meet, how to, you know, get as much as much yield. Yeah, I mean, so there's a huge amount of entrepreneurship in farming.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yes.
Well, very cool. So then I guess I'm interested in what made you decide to be interested in politics? And I don't know. Those farming and politics don't necessarily go together in my head.
Yeah, no, my dad thinks I'm crazy for and all getting involved in it. But kind of why I chose ag entrepreneurship is because I originally wanted to go into law as well right after. And kind of go into ag law and do that, and then kind of be a voice for farmers. But then, you know, I've kind of changed my mind back to, you know, just, you know, being a part of the ag community by, you know, farming and maybe one day owning my own business in agriculture. And, but, you know, I don't know what it is. I just love politics. You know, I love watching elections, and my parents would call me crazy because they'd walk into my room when I was in high school and I'd be watching the news. They're like, why are you sitting in your room watching the news? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. So I don't know what it is. I just really love our political system. It's just so fun. It gives me a jolt.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
And Calvin, how did you?
Yeah, pretty similar story to Isaac. I mean, I've always kind of been interested in politics. I still remember back when I was around 6, the 2008 general election when Barack Obama was first elected, and like seeing like the maps are like essentially how that turned out. And I'm also a complete map nerd. Like my room is absolutely covered in maps, and so I think it's probably between those things and just like I understood how the system worked at an early age, and I think I'm a big believer in you like what you're good at, and I think I'm good at this, and so that was it was a pretty big influence. Yeah, similar story to Isaac, honestly, on that one.
So then do you guys have, well, first of all, tell me about the other students that are a part of you guys are a part of a group. And so maybe talk for a minute about the other students that are a part of your group.
Yeah, in the studio right now, but not on camera, is my boy Blake Schwabauer. He's a really big help. He's our chief technical officer in the club. We also have one of my good friends, Abby Whitnaw, who is a local to the area, growing up partially in Richland, Oregon, so only a little bit away down in Hell's Canyon. And that's our core group. But we also have a lot of other people who volunteer and help us out a lot. JW Dippold, who is another Imbler local who was an FFA state officer just last year and really representing Eastern Oregon in our region well in that position. And just a lot of other volunteers that really help out with. Anyone you can think of else besides those guys?
And I mean, we have other guys like Tim and Nathan that they'll come to events to volunteer and help us set up, help us guide people to where they need to go and everything. And we really appreciate all of their help, and really to almost all the clubs on campus, because we walk up to them, we'll ask for meetings, like ask, hey, what issues are important to you as students in your groups? And so really the whole student community, really, they're all crazy supportive of, these events. And
so part of the question might be, so are you guys all have the same political persuasions, or, are you all bent in a particular direction? Maybe talk about that. And then also how Turning Point, because that's one of the questions that you get, is how they kind of fit into what it is that you guys do.
So I'm the founder and president of Turning Point USA. I started that last year, and Turning Point USA is a 501c3, and so they can't host political debates and stuff like that because it's in violation of a nonprofit. And so that kind of goes back to kind of why I approached Calvin. It's like, hey, we need to start something that we can do that to give service to our community. And so really Turning Point doesn't have anything to do with EOU debates.
Okay.
Really all Turning Point USA does is they reserve the rooms for us, and then they're gone. That's all they do. And so it's really just makes it so we can host the events. That's about it. Other than that, Turning Point has no influence. When it comes to politics, I know Calvin and I agree most of the time, and that's kind of why we've tried to, diverse our committees. And, with the review committee we got coming up in the town hall, we made sure to get all views on there. And Abby Whitnaw was also kind of a balance as well, because she's a little more leaning apart from Calvin and I, and that's important as well. And yeah, but for the most part, Turning Point really has nothing to do with EOU debates. They're kind of just there to reserve rooms for us.
And your goal really is to create. You're not trying to emphasize the left over the right either way. You're just trying to create an open conversation.
Yeah, and with these elections, I mean, the Grande City Council is nonpartisan, and
right.
So was the commissioner debate as well. So it's kind of,
yeah,
that also keeps that kind of balance as well.
Yeah. So, and kind of on that, what we're experiencing, and we're kind of seeing this, is even nonpartisan debates, and we saw that a little bit with the commissioner race, which is also nonpartisan. But partisan politics are kind of pushing themselves even to nonpartisan races. Do you have any thoughts on that, either one of you?
I think it's just a really interesting symptom of our current political atmosphere right now. As we see stuff is getting more and more divisive, like with our most recent elections federally as well, we're starting to see really big splits. I mean, the Senate is currently 50-50 between Republicans and Democrats. And I have a prediction personally that I think it's going to stay at least that way or very, very similarly. And so I think just it's a top-down thing. And now it's come from, the top, the president's positions in our last couple of people who were elected, to the Senate, to the House, to now it's coming down to city councils and mayors and school boards, where it's become very partisan issues, where you're really just trying to push people to stack your side. And so it's been a really interesting thing to see happen and develop over the last, I'd say, probably 10 years, 10, 12 years.
Part of the problem, though, is at the presidential level, at the Congress level, that is partisan.
Right.
This is not. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the people that are running for it that are making it partisan. It's not the president. It's not anybody except for the people right here in our town that they have allegiance to certain people or whatever. And all of a sudden it's, oh, okay, well, we're right wing, you guys are left wing. And then it becomes this to do when really it should just be who's best for the job.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. I don't give a crap if you're, if you bleed red.
Yeah.
If you're you're left and you're a better mayor, I'm voting for you.
Right. Well, and that's kind of, you and I have had a lot of conversations about that off the air, because the partisanship for me personally in nonpartisan races, it aggravates me, because it pollutes it. That's the bottom line. It pollutes the process. And so that has really bothered me from time to time. And the biggest qualification that someone really needs for city council is that they've studied and they're skilled and they're bright, but that they love LeGrand.
Absolutely.
They want to invest in LeGrand. I think city council members, I'm trying to remember, they get paid, it's either $35 a month or $75 a month. I mean, it's just a stipend. They don't do it for the money. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And so it is something that people do because they really love. And I've always, I record the city council meetings and have for the last 10 or 12 years. And man, I admire those people because they do their homework. They spend time doing it. I've never seen a single partisan decision in the 12 years that I've watched recorded city council meetings. So then when partisanship pushes its way in, then it aggravates me. So
yeah, you totally see more decisions based off of people's ethics and morals, which isn't right. You're a representative of the people. You're not a representative of yourself. So, but you see that more than partisan decisions on our city council. But slowly it's starting to like become like this right or left thing, and it's getting weird, man.
What we're really seeing is what I'm going to coin right now: trickle down politics. Where from those partisan positions up top, like you were just saying, it's trickling down, and Republican and Democrats are just starting to battle out in our local elections. Yeah, it's really interesting.
But we got to figure out a way to put a stop to that, because it's in our bylaws that it says that it's a nonpartisan position and it shouldn't be treated as partisan in any way.
Well, and the hot issues that people think are partisan. Yeah. I mean, and that's the, part of that is people are just uninformed. They just don't know. So because they'll pick apart a partisan issue, whatever that may be, and they'll say, this is really important to me, but the city council has no power or influence, whatever about that particular, but they don't know that, and I see that. I mean, I've seen people come to the podium during the public hearing part of it, and they'll complain about something, and they'll be so disappointed when the mayor has to tell them, man, we wish we could do something about that too. I mean, they just don't, there's so little stuff that is not relevant to the city council. So what do you guys, I had a question. So what are Calvin, you clearly have kind of an interest in national politics, maps.
Yeah.
So, do you have a particular, do you guys have different areas of area interest, would you say?
I love looking at maps too. It's always fun to look at, the statistics and stuff like that. And I really love watching, just debates that they have in the House and stuff. I don't know. That stuff is always just interests me. I feel like you can, really refine yourself from watching other people debate and stuff. And so I've always, being growing up in like FFA and stuff, I'm always into speeches and watching stuff like that. So I'm really interested in like watching inaugurations and stuff like that, because those are always, crazy exciting.
Yeah. Well, that is unique. I don't know of many younger people that are like, yeah, we just eat politics up, and Kyle and I are probably on the opposite end of it's like, I'm only doing this because I really want to have a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want the city of LeGrande to know the people that are running for those positions.
Mm-hmm.
And so that they can make intelligent decisions. That's my motive,
and to be informed that like there's so many people that don't even know that. I read something on Facebook the other day, and they were like, if you get voted in as mayor, you're gonna kick the mayor is just the city council.
Right.
That's it.
You're right.
They can't kick people off. They're not gonna fix the world. It's like it's
Right.
just they have the same power as all the other people on that
Right.
council. That's it.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. They think that like the mayor is like like God or something. Like they can drop an anvil on somebody.
Yeah.
It's oh man, it's annoying.
Yeah, and that's kind of why these town halls are kind of important, because it gives not only an opportunity for the public to see who the candidates are, but to kind of get educated based on the questions that we provide the candidates with, to see, oh, that's a city issue. Oh, that's not a city issue. That's why that didn't come up,
Right.
and see, oh, that's what that mayor's power is. They really don't have any power, they're not an executive and stuff like that. And, I think that's important, making sure the community understands that, kind of using this as an opportunity to educate the public.
Another thing that we were talking about yesterday was how that we have they call it a weak mayor
Mm-hmm.
form of government, meaning that, and not that Steve Clements is a weak mayor. That's not what we're saying, but that the mayor, since it is just one of the voting, they have one vote when it comes to the issues. In a strong mayor form of government, the mayor actually can veto. He can actually veto the other council member. So everybody else can vote yes, and then the mayor has the power to veto. That's not our form of government.
No,
So-
on our city council, the mayor has a vote. They're the face and they're the scapegoat. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
You get to take on that extra responsibility with no extra power.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They run the meetings and they can make proclamations. So there is some, there's some leadership influence, I would say. But as far as power, they don't have. Now, and so then in the Grande City government, then our city manager is essentially the executive officer of the city. So he is the one that's running the day-to-day operations, but he serves at the pleasure of the city council.
Mm-hmm.
So they ultimately are the boss. But the communication in a strong mayor city government, the mayor is having a conversation with the police chief, the fire chief, all of those individual things. In our form of government, those day-to-day operations are being handled by our city manager, which is Robert Strope. And again, people don't, you might go like, well, I wish the roads were were plowed sooner, whatever your thing is that you want, but you really don't understand that just because you're on the city council, you are now a part of the conversation. You don't have the power. Any one city council member doesn't have the power to change anything. Mm-hmm. You're a part of a committee. You're a part of that thing to say, hey, I really want us to. The power that a city council member has is they can go to the meeting and they can say, I want to have not a work study. I want to have a work study session on plowing the road sooner. Okay. And so then they can make a motion to do that. And the whole city council can say, okay, that's worth our time. And so then they set aside a particular time to at least study that aspect of what that's how a city council member can move something through. But anyhow, we'll So how do you feel about tonight? Let's talk about tonight.
I am really excited. I think we have a really good group of candidates, and I'm excited to really just ask them some questions, hear their opinions, and see what they believe in and how, if they became a city councilor or a mayor, how they best serve the community and really help us out and do that. What do you think, Isaac?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Tonight I'm ready for it to happen. This is building up for a little while, and so I'm excited for it to finally be happening. And kind of see if improved at all since the commissioners debate. Because we did take some critiques for people, and tried to fix some things that we might do a little harder research when it comes to questions, and so I'm hoping that shows that tonight.
Well, and this has been a lot more of a team effort between us and you in this particular one. The last one we connected and like, well, hey, do you want to stream it? Like, yeah, we'll stream it. So we showed up and we're totally in the background and did that. This time we've actually spent a lot of time meeting, and the three of us particularly negotiating with the candidates to make sure that everybody feels comfortable to get there and stuff. And it's been good, guys. I mean, I have really enjoyed that. So, and also we're going to have, these guys are going to help us with the election night show. And so the tentative plan is that you guys will be here in the studio. Kyle will be up with Robin Church at 8:00, to get those results and stuff. And we might have someone else join you here in the studio and stuff. But anyhow, we'll just kind of have an active live conversation so you guys can watch for that. So,
and to talk about the critiques, you could ask the best questions in the world. You're going to do it. I would just brush that off. You could ask the best questions in the world, and somebody's still gonna like the other day after the football game, I walk into the poker room and everybody's like, you did this wrong, you did that. I'm like, and basically it's just like you go do it.
They told you did that right?
Oh, you degenerates are sitting down here gambling, drinking beer, and you're gonna tell me I'm doing my job wrong?
Yeah.
Really?
These guys, man.
Yeah, no, people have no idea what it's like to do live stuff. Because it's like, and to watch, and I'm sure you're that. To when you watch live stuff back, it's like, oh man, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was like,
Yeah, the first time you're sitting there, you have 4 tabs open, and there's over 100 people on each tab.
Right.
And you're the only one on the microphone.
Yeah.
You don't got anybody else to bounce anything off of. That's when you see, if you can cut it or not, if you can hang.
Yeah.
People critiquing you guys, dude, come on. They're going to critique it even if it's perfect. That's what they do in this world out here.
Yeah.
They aren't going to walk up to you and tell you that you messed it up, usually, unless they're a friend or they care about you.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody else is going to keyboard warrior and brush that off.
So tonight there are, unfortunately, there's only time for about 7 or 8 questions. I mean, if we get 9 questions in over the night, I would be, because we've slated for 2 hours, each candidate, and I think we have 5. Is that what we said? 5 or 6? We have six people that will actually be on the stage.
2 city council positions, the mayor.
Yeah, and those 6 people will be responding. Each person will respond to every question, and so it's just you add it up, and it just goes by pretty quick. Anyhow, some of those questions have been prepared by us ahead of time. I think probably 3 or 4, and then we're taking questions through Facebook comments, and then also if you want to email a question, even during the thing, you can email the question to questions@EOAlive.tv. So anyhow, and then we have a little panel, Calvin and Steve Clements and John Lackey. You guys are looking at those questions that come in. And I forgot to mention, people in the building also can write questions on a piece of paper and submit those. Okay. And so then you guys are going through those active questions and then submitting them to the MC of the night, who's going to be Isaac. He'll be at the microphone. So So anyhow, it's going to be a little bit of John Lackey was in here yesterday, and I was trying to brief him. I was like, yeah, it might be a little clunky at first until we get into
Until we hit our stride.
until we get a little bit of a rhythm. But again, the thing I'm excited about is that it's live, it's authentic, it's genuine, and I really hope that we have the opportunity for candidates to be able to get to know the candidates.
Yeah.
And that's what's most important.
Yeah.
So if you guys can make it 6 o'clock tonight at Zabel Hall 101, please show up or stream it here on EOAlive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Last time it wasn't in Zabel.
No,
It was in
wasn't.
Huber.
It was in
It's in a different hall.
It's in a different hall.
Yeah.
It's on the other side.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Health and Human Services building.
Yeah.
And the business hall.
Is it business?
Business. Yep.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, why don't let's end the show with him here? But you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do
forgot
weather.
to do the weather.
Yeah.
I was going to do it.
You were going to key me in on that?
Yeah.
Beautiful day out there. Here, let's see what Gabe has.
Heading into the day on Thursday, we'll start the day off with sunny skies before we see some scattered high clouds moving in the second half of the day, especially up towards the north. We really won't see that out towards the south until the evening hours. Those temperatures will be rising into the lower 80s for much of us, although holding slightly cooler into the mountains into the upper 70s with that warm spot on the map, 85 in John Day. Heading into the day on Thursday for La Grande, it looks like this will start out into the upper 40s at the 8 o'clock hour, abundantly clear, beginning with a light northeasterly wind flow that will change to the northwest by the evening, with gusts only as high as 20 miles per hour in spots, bringing in a few clouds during the day as those highs reach the low 80s. More clouds in the picture as we inch towards the evening, dropping those temperatures into the low to mid 40s overnight. High cirrus clouds continue into the day on Friday. There should be enough around to make skies appear hazy at times, with those temperatures shy of just 80 degrees.
All right. It is so weird to have really cool mornings, and then by the middle of the day, it's just hot.
Yeah.
I mean, and the sun,
You got trapped that cold air in the house.
yeah. Tanya and I were working working outdoors on Saturday, and it's like the sun was just, I don't know, felt like you could get a sunburn in just a very short period of time. I don't know. Weird weather. Clearing out. I think the haze is going away a little bit at a time. So, all right, you want to get us out of here?
Let's get us out of here.
All right.
Coach camp today, 5:30 Tuesdays. We'll talk a little EOU football. On this day in 1881, what is today? October 11th.
October 11th.
1881. David Houston patented the roll of film, like a roll of film for cameras. 1881. Nobody uses film anymore.
No.
I was looking at the memory card. My memory card right now. I have 18,000 pictures on it.
On your phone?
On my memory card.
On
the little 128 I have.
Yeah.
There's 18. I think I need to delete some of them since they're all on the computer. So it'd probably be a good idea. On this day in 1887, so 6 years later, A. Miles patented the elevator. We have to ride in an elevator together.
87.
I don't like that elevator up there. That elevator scares the crap out of me. It starts beeping and doing weird stuff.
This is the one up at the EOU Community Stadium. Yeah.
1975 on this day, Saturday Night Live, created by Lorne Michaels, premiered on NBC. Who was the host, BC? The original host of Saturday Night Live. Don't Google it.
No, I'm not. I was going to try and switch the camera. Yeah. Eddie Murphy. Chevy Chase.
George Carlin.
George Carlin.
You're close.
Okay.
I mean, Eddie Murphy and George Carlin is not really close. But
right. No, George Carlin is the original. He was incredibly original.
1981 on this day. At the time, unknown musician Prince Rogers Nelson opened for the Rolling Stones at the LA Coliseum. Who is it? Who's Prince Rogers Nelson? He opened for the Stones in 1981. Nobody knew him.
Maybe it was Prince?
It was Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the time, he was Prince Rogers Nelson, though.
Interesting.
Opened for the Stones in 1981 on this day.
Wow.
Coliseum in LA. 2018 on this day, the world's record for the longest commercial flight from Singapore to Newark Airport in New Jersey took place. 17 hours and 52 minutes, nonstop.
Wow.
It's a long time in an airplane. You know? I hate airplanes too. I would have to have like a whole box full of Xanax to get me through that thing. Seriously. Like the doctor gives me Xanax for flights because I get so bad. Like I just tense up and no, I'm not a big flyer. Number one movie on this day in 1992.
92.
I remember this movie, but I don't remember this movie. It's Under Siege with Steven Seagal.
Oh, I
BC,
remember.
you
I remember that movie.
Are you a Steven Seagal guy, BC?
Well, no, but that was like the beginning of his career. Nobody knew who Steven Seagal was.
He sucks.
But he didn't suck, man.
Come on, Chuck Norris could kick his ass.
but he
was like he's like the C. Like the C-rated like martial art guy.
No, I don't disagree with you, but that was like the beginning of superhero martial arts. I mean, I don't know when who's the other guy? Chuck Norris. When did he do his thing?
Before Under Siege?
I don't think so.
Before 92.
Oh, before 92.
Chuck Norris is in a movie with Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But he was no one.
Chuck Norris?
Who did you know?
In 1982?
I know, but
1992? I mean, this is 92.
Who did you know better in? Did you know Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee better when they were together?
Oh, Bruce Lee. But Chuck Norris was way more popular than this guy.
Well, yeah,
in 92.
Probably.
When this movie came out. And he could kick his ass.
But I don't think Chuck Norris had any movies. I mean, that was the unique,
okay. Now we have to look at
that was the unique.
We gotta
thing.
look this
up.
No.
That was the unique thing about Under Siege. Was
hang on, we gotta look.
It was a movie. It was cool. I mean, it was cool. He happened to be a visitor on a ship, I think, and
Chuck Norris had to have been in movies before 92.
He was in TV. He did a ton of TV stuff.
Yeah, but he had to have been in movies too, PC.
Well,
I think he might have missed some
You
stuff.
should be able to remember it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Braddock. He was in Missing in Action, the Delta Force. Chuck Norris started doing movies in 1968.
Okay. When was Delta Force?
He was in The Way of the Dragon in 1972. Student Teacher, 73. Slaughter. I mean, like all these.
All right.
All these martial art movies. He started in 1968. He'd been in 25 movies by the time this movie came out.
All right.
Chuck Norris is old.
He is old.
Like real old. Way older than way older than this guy. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, where were we at? You got me all quote of the day.
Yeah, quote of the day.
Ordinary people think merely of spending time. Great people think of using it. One more time. Ordinary people think merely of spending time. Great people think of using it. That's it.
All right.
We'll be back on Thursday.
Yep. So tonight, 6 o'clock, right here.
Right after my sports show with Camp.
All righty. Thanks. Talk soon.